If you've been thinking about downsizing maybe for the past month, maybe for a couple of years, and you still haven't decided where to start, you're not alone. Okay. In fact, most people in your situation say the hardest thing isn't even selling the house at all. It's knowing what to do first. My name is Shannon Payton, and I am an agent with Cornerstone Associates at Keller Williams, and I specialize in helping homeowners just like you navigate this transition. Today, I want to talk you through how to actually begin this process without feeling overwhelmed, because we all know that if we're overwhelmed, then we do nothing because it's just easier to do. At least maybe that's just me. Okay. And just so you know, downsizing isn't just about the real estate transaction. It's a life transition. You might be leaving a home where you raised your family, you've hosted holidays, made decades of memories. Okay. You've probably owned this house for 30 or more years. That's not small. So before we can talk logistics, I want you to know it's completely normal if you feel big emotions, even if you're scared. But it's something that I've learned in working with families that the first step is knowing. It helps make it more manageable. It helps make it seem more bite-sized. Okay, it's like the question of how do you eat an elephant bite by bite, right? So you can look at this the same way. So 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself as you're planning for this next transition in your life is, where do you want to start, right? What do you want to do? These are the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself as you get going. And when you're answering these questions, I don't want you to overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Whatever the first answer is that comes to mind is typically the answer, okay? So question 1, why do you want to downsize? Is it to reduce expenses? Maybe you want to free up equity. Maybe you want to make your daily life easier, be closer to family. Understanding your why will guide you almost to every decision that follows. Question number 2. When do you realistically want to move to your next home? Somebody might say today, tomorrow, yesterday. Someone might be thinking 2 years from today. So neither question is or answer is wrong, but having even a rough timeline helps you plan backwards from that goal, because that's what we're trying to do. Get you to see what you want to do. Question 3. What does your next chapter look like? Is it a smaller home in the same community? Maybe it's a condo. A completely different city altogether. This doesn't have to be fully figured out today, but having a general direction is incredibly helpful before you make that next move. Okay. So here's some practical first steps, once you answer those questions that have been helpful. Once you get these things together, it doesn't have to be set in stone. It doesn't have to be concrete. You want to have this conversation with yourself before you even speak to a real estate agent. I want you to walk through your house with fresh eyes, not as the person who's been living in it for the past decade or more. This isn't about decluttering yet. It's just about paying attention to the home. All right. Seeing it just with a new set. Second, have a conversation with your household. If you share this house with a significant other, partner, family, you want to get on the same page. What matters most to each of you? What is it? What are your non-negotiables for your next home? Third, I want you to start paying attention to the market, but don't obsess over it. Drive through neighborhoods that you're curious about possibly moving to. Look into states. Visit some states you think you might want to move to. Look at online listings. Get a general sense or idea about what's out there. And lastly, it's important to consider getting a no pressure, no obligation conversation started with a real estate agent who specializes in helping you downsize, because what you want is going to be different from what somebody else wants. So just remember, today is about getting educated. You can move tomorrow. Okay. The truth is, there's no perfect moment to start, but I have seen time and time again that people who take even the first small step by asking the questions, making the call, feel so much better than someone who may get stuck in the maybe someday loop. You worked really hard for your home. You deserve to move forward on your own terms when you're ready, with a clear head and solid plan. And I'm here to help you do exactly that. If you found this video helpful, subscribe so you don't miss any other video in this downsizing series, as we are going to go through about 10 questions that you guys typically have, and just making sure that your timing is where it needs to be and helping you move forward comfortably. If you have any questions, do me a solid, drop them below in the comments. I'm going to read everyone, and we are going to answer them to help you navigate through this process so you feel comfortable with the decision that you're making in this next phase of your life. So thank you so much for following me if you made it to the end of this video. And if you made it, then make sure that you follow. Share it with your friend. Maybe you're an adult kid. Share it with your parent. Because this is a conversation that I had with my mom. This is the conversation I have with my grandmother. Okay? So my name is Shannon, again with Cornerstone Associates. Thank you so much for being here, and you have a phenomenal day.